Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? I decided to hit you guys with something a little different today. One, smoking a little ganj. It's fine. Cat hair all over my shirt. I try to get it off. I also have a stain up here, so if it's bothering you, I'm really sorry. But as you can see, I've got a mic. I am about to tell you guys a really sad story. So that's why I'm not up here all like pumped and like telling y'all about my stuff. But I guess I'll plug some stuff at the end. It is very fucked up. But before we get in, please like this video before I curl up into a ball and start crying. I have my notes because I'm not a perfect crime storyteller yet. But my goal is to do that. My break on YouTube has been studying these things because they give me joy and trying to help the community. Personally, I feel like this case is unsolved. I feel like there's parts missing. In the comments below, let me know. Damilola Taylor was born in Lagos, Nigeria to Richard and Gloria Taylor on the 7th of April, 2008. He was part of a Yoruba ethnic group. He attended Wisdom Montessori School in Kedo before he traveled to the United Kingdom with his mother because his sister was struggling with epilepsy and they had better medical care in the United Kingdom. So Gloria was like, hey, talk to Richard, was like, how about you stay here, be the servant in Nigeria, and me and Damilola and the sister are gonna go to the United Kingdom to get help for her. And we'll see how he does, and if not, we can send him back tonight. Damilola, in a couple of words, you can say he's an energetic 10-year-old boy. Like any other 10-year-old, he loved to play, loved to explore, but one thing he really loved to do was learn. And when he went to the United Kingdom, they had such a broad learning spectrum there. There was computers, there was library access. He was close to the library. He was 4 blocks away from the library, so he could walk back and forth with so ease. As I said, he was a big fan of the library. He would call his dad every day, so pumped about school, saying, Dad, I get to go to the library. There's an after school program for the library now, so I'm gonna go to and fro from the library after school every day. And now his father Richard was very worried about this because alongside of Damilola's excitement, he did say he was getting a little bit bullied in school for being so pumped about learning, and you know, kids are mean, and that was not okay. It worried Richard because he knew gang life was prevalent in young kids in the UK and in the school that Damilola was going to. He said people were trying to pressure him into gang life. I'm so happy that he opened up to his parents and talked about this. But sadly, on the 27th of November 2000, 10-year-old Damilola was killed on his way back from the library. And this became one of the United Kingdom's most high-profile killings, and it still is. And personally, I want you to listen to the details. I want you to step in Damilola's shoes as much as you can, and his parents' shoes to see, is this story unsolved? Because personally, I think so, and I want to fight for him. So he was on his way back from the library. He took his normal route. He went to the library, played a little bit, and then went down the elevator, out the door, straight to the 4 blocks away from his house. And while he was walking, it was dark. It was about, I think, 7:38 at night. Don't quote me on that. He was walking, and the next thing you know, bam! He got hit with a broken glass bottle by 2 other 13, 14-year-old boys who were gang members in the UK. Now this whole sentence, let's go back. He was on his way from the library, 4 blocks away from his house, and he gets stabbed by a broken bottle by other children. As I said, kids killing kids. It was a devastation to the family. And while they were getting this trial set up and trying to find the suspects, they opened a trust in Damilola's name to give kids experiences that he will never get, which I think is awesome. So I'm going to put the link down below and show you guys. Let's go to 2002, where the first trial began. And yes, you heard me. This is the first out of 3 trials from 2000 to 2006, which I think is pretty fucked up if you're going to ask me. So in 2002, 4 youths, including 16-year-old brothers, went to trial at Old Bailey for the murder of Taylor. A trial led to all 4 suspects being not guilty. 2 were acquitted on the direction of the judge after he ruled that the prosecution key witness, a 14-year-old girl, was unreliable. So this 14-year-old girl claimed that she was on Blake Street, the street where it happened, and saw everything go down. But a little insight to this is money talks. So there was let me check, £50 million reward for anybody who could come forward with information about Taylor. My ring light, because whoa, £50 million to come forward. One, why can't an innocent person come forward? There was an innocent bystander who saw not what happened, but was there for Taylor's death. It was a nice carpenter who came by, and there was a drastic 911 call, but we'll get into that later. Let's focus on this 14-year-old girl. Claimed to be on Blake Road, and she saw them commit the act, but the story was not reliable because the minute she showed up to court, they could tell she was in fancier clothing. She showed up with a nicer car, and she definitely used that £50 million for something other than telling a story about a 10-year-old boy who was killed for no freaking reason. So she honestly admitted to the police that she was lying. Jury was dismissed, and the case was dismissed. So the thing that makes me upset is during this first trial, the defense tried really hard. They brought in an expert testimony. Alisar Wilson, I think that's how you say his first name. Alisar Wilson was in the Royal London Hospital, and he was one of Britain's biggest trauma expert. He knew this from ins and outs, and he was highly recommended. So they had to ask him. He said that his injuries were consistent of being stabbed with a bottle or falling on a broken glass. This was disputed by the prosecution, who argued that Taylor would have to take off and fly through the air like Peter Pan for these things to happen, which in my mind makes no logical sense. This case was dismissed, and they tried and tried and tried again until 2006 of January. Jahid, now 21 years old, and the Preddy brothers, now 17 and 18 years old, appeared at Old Bailey once again to face charges for this 10-year-old's murder, Damilola Taylor. The trial commenced on 24th of January 2006. Alisar Wilson again testified the thing he testified before, saying that his injuries were consistent with the claim. They were unable to reach a verdict this time on the manslaughter because they didn't have enough evidence, which I think is messed up. Just because they didn't have the lying 14-year-old girl witness doesn't mean you don't have enough evidence. I mean, Alisar Wilson, he came through. He was like, yo, listen up, guys. He got stabbed by a bottle. I'm a trauma expert. Hello. And the jury's like, nah, we don't have enough evidence. Like, bitch, what the fuck? Anyways, let's hop into the retrial because this is pissing me off. The retrial of the 2 brothers began on the 23rd of June. The 2 brothers, then over 18, were named Danny and Ricky Preddy of Peckman, South London. Both defendants were very well known to police, having committed multiple robberies in their lifetime, and they were convicted of manslaughter. Finally, after a 33-day trial, they were convicted of a manslaughter in 2006. After this happened on the 27th of November, 2000. You kidding me, bro? During the retrial, it was noted that while the police did follow procedure collecting evidence, lapses occurred in the prosecution. The Preddy brothers were filed to 8 years, and after this, they kept going to prison for different crimes. But the thing that makes me mad, let's break it down. 1, 3 different trials for, in my mind, a murder that should have been an easier trial. I mean, it was a 10-year-old boy. They knew these 2 brothers from the get-go. Yes, the 14-year-old girl was lying, but the trauma expert really came through. And in my mind, I feel like for this case, you don't really need an eyewitness. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I feel like they should have dug deep and done some more investigative research, because on all the things that I've looked at, it's just the same story copied and pasted over and over again. And that's something that makes me really upset. Also, the fact that this story is becoming relevant right now when it happened in 2000, which also makes me upset. And you want to know why it's relevant? Because of all the killings that are going on now. So I would challenge you guys to dig deep into this case for me, because I don't think 8 years is enough. Comment down below if you think 8 years is enough, and if you do, please explain why. Is it because they got arrested late, 6 years later? Is it because there wasn't enough evidence? Is it because there was no eyewitness to the crime? Let me know. But if you guys want to subscribe and you like these videos, please do that. It would make me very happy. I also have music, so go check out my music with peace and love. I would love that. And I don't think he should have gotten 8 years. That's fucked up. Pretty Brothers, the Juulzz channel is coming for you. Love you guys.